In future, whether the plot of land in Kowloon will be used to build a Chinese medicine teaching hospital or special needs school, the town planning board won't be involved unless, for example, the buildings exceed a certain height limit. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
It's said that the flower became the symbol of the student movement after a florist sent a bunch of them over here to show support for the protesters when the rally first began. 9 days on, the sunflower is now set as a new emblem of the fight for the spirit of democracy, reflecting the students' desire to rid the government of what they see as shady dealings. Diane To, TVB News, Taipei.
During the meeting, some legislators also asked the government if it's possible to exempt HKTV from regulations outlined in the broadcasting ordinance. The authorities didn't make a comment, but HKTV chairman Ricky Wong said he will be meeting with the Communications Authority this Saturday morning to see what can be done in order for him to launch his network. Vicky Kong, TVB News. Knowing that it's unlikely the central government will change its mind to accept the three-track proposal, organizers have compared their hunger strike to the fragility of eggs. These silenced eggs will continue to fight for what they call real democracy.
There will be some concerts held here in the Hong Kong Van Zone tonight, so those who have finished watching the rugby matches can come here and enjoy some more fun. As for tomorrow, it will be a day dedicated to children. Some of the children's favorite cartoon characters will show up here, so parents, don't forget to stop by with your kids. The first round of public consultation on universal suffrage in Hong Kong began last month and will end on May 3rd. During this time, the Chief Secretary for Administration, Carrie Lam, has been inviting lawmakers to dinner gatherings to ask for their opinions on this issue. Evelyn Lang, TVB News.
The court is now looking at the 16-year-old second defendant's psychological report, and the case will be adjourned to the 20th of this month. Rachel Ling, TVB News.
As for those who found themselves with fake $1,000 bills, the Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury says banks won't be responsible for their losses. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
Greenpeace says washing clothes can reduce the amount of harmful substances found on the fabric, but it will in turn pollute waters. It recommends parents to buy second-hand clothes instead because they might have already undergone more washing. Vicky Kong, TVB News.
China Overseas Land bought the Kai Tak plot for more than $4.5 billion. That works out at more than $5,000 per square foot. Analysts say that's not any cheaper than market prices.
Domestic water charges in Hong Kong are calculated based on progressively increasing prices. The first 12 cubic meters are free, and from then on, each cubic meter of water would cost you between $4.16 and $9.05. The Performing Industry Association is eyeing part of the Kai Tak development project as a potential site for building an easily accessible performance venue.
The Pan-Democrats said they still haven't decided exactly which political reform proposals they plan to present to the Beijing officials. They pointed out they simply want Beijing to understand they will not accept any screening of candidates in the 2017 chief executive election. Evelyn Lang, TVB News.
As part of Asia Society's efforts to connect to the Hong Kong public, it has also invited local artists to exhibit pieces inspired by Caravaggio, such as this version of The Supper at Emmaus by Chow Chun-fai. Burning paper offerings is an essential part of Qingming Festival. People believe the more they burn, the more their ancestors will get. But it's not just about the quantity. This year, some shops are offering the latest versions of smartphones, some of which are even newer than the one that I'm using.
Choi said crowd control measures will be implemented to ensure tenants of the building won't be affected. The alliance will meet with the building's owners corporation on Wednesday to further discuss the issue in an attempt to avoid litigation. Rachel Ling, TVB News.
Zhang also believes that introducing party politics into Hong Kong cannot make the city more governable. This is because he thinks the existing government does not have much support from different political groups in the Let's Go. ATV also plans to rearrange its program timetable starting this May. Political commentary shows that are aired at 7:30 p.m. now will be screened 2 hours later instead. The 7:30 p.m. time slot, meanwhile, will be replaced by Korean soap operas.
Analysts Analysts say if your PC is more than 5 years old, the chances are that it's running XP. Now, it will still run after tomorrow. It's just that you can't get the security updates or get any technical support from Microsoft.
Government sources say many have been demanding the establishment of this new bureau, and the administration hopes that lawmakers will take this into consideration and approve funding for this proposal as soon as possible. Evelyn Lang, TVB News.
Tang also snuffed out speculations of him running for the CE election in 2017. He said he will be almost 65 and a retiree by then, and insisted that he should leave the opportunity to the younger ones. Vicky Kung, TVB News.
Hunger strikers are holding out for universal suffrage for the last remaining hour or so until they reach the 384-hour mark.
Director of Audit pointed out that the shortage of land supply is one of the main factors affecting the production of public rental housing. He called on the government to explore possible sources such as reclamation, site redevelopment, and opening up new areas to tackle this challenge.
Lawmakers passed the second reading of the budget this morning, but since the LegCo Secretariat needs more time to process the many amendments, the third and final reading, when the debates will happen, has been adjourned to the end of this month. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
The museum was originally set to open this Sunday, but now the opening date has been pushed back to April 26 because of a delay in construction. Rachel Ling, TVB News.
Colors and lines can paint not just a portrait, but also the identity of a person. Students who drew these pictures hope that viewers can see these characters not just as ethnic minorities, but also as local Hong Kongers. Vicky Kung, TVB News.
International schools. One of them is here in Sai Kung, while the others are in Tai Po and the Southern District. The goal is to reduce the current shortage of spaces to 1,500 by 2016. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
This bookshelf here holds more than 100 publications on the June 4th incident, a topic that's centered on the mainland. Though the books are not for lending, visitors can always give them a read while they're here.
From a public hygiene point of view, Secretary for Food and Health Ko Wing-man said urinating and defecating in public is illegal.
Tian has requested the government to set up an independent investigation committee on the issue. Further discussion is also needed on whether the MTR...
The Secretary for Transport and Housing said hopefully the committee will be able to present its findings within this year. He also stressed the findings will be made public.